I'm Kevin Hill, and as you can see today I've got a very large canvas. We're going to do a beautiful large winter painting. It should be a lot of fun, and if you're enjoying this and you're looking forward to it and want to see more, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more painting videos. Alright, let's get started. We'll start off today with our 2-inch brush, and I'm going to drop on a nice golden yellow color. And I went ahead and I put some clear gel and white down to a little below half. That'll be our sky. And now I'm just brushing this right on. It goes on pretty easy because of that stuff. If you guys haven't tried out the clear gel, definitely give it a try. We got it available on the website in these little small tubes or the big tubes. If you want to just try it, just get a small tube and give it a shot. Of course, then you'll just go right back and order a big tube. So, you know, I love it. I wouldn't want to use anything else. It really works so well. All right, let's go ahead and just maybe grab a little white and put a little extra white right in here. Now I will say I'm not really planning to finish this one today. I'm planning to finish it next week. It's gonna probably have to be a 2-week just because of the size of it. People often think that doing the bigger paintings is easier. For some things it is. You know, your brushes are smaller, essentially. But I've always found that it takes me 3 times as long. Not just twice as long, but 3 times as long. So I'm gonna do my best to get it done in 2 weeks. So hopefully you stick with me through the entire 2-week process, because it'll be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see it at the end. Now it's time to do the most important step in the sky, which is wiping it off. I've got my shop towel, which for everybody's probably not a surprise anymore. And I'm just going to start here in the light area. This is where my sun is going to be. The light's going to be kind of shining from the back and going this way. So wipe this down really good. This canvas isn't the same one that I normally use, and the tooth is quite a bit more smooth. And you just notice that I'm almost going back down to the white canvas, which I don't normally like, but I'm going to go ahead and roll with it anyways. It's probably fine for this particular painting because there's a lot of white in it, and it might be nice to be able to get back to the white, but generally this is not a good thing. Generally you want it to be stained, the color. You want the canvas to be stained the color that you put on it. So anyway, you want something with very rough tooth on it, a good gesso. Now we're gonna go ahead and work on our clouds. And it's kinda, I don't know, it's kinda good to maybe put these on a little heavier than you want, and then we can wipe them off with the paper towel. That way we can get more subtle areas going on. So this is more purple than I actually want. And there it is. Oh boy, didn't that look crazy on the palette. It's a little more purple than I want. That's just kind of part of the strategy of it. So let's go ahead and just, let's let our cloud wrap down this way. We can kind of do whatever. It's not super important. Just get a few nice cloud shapes going, and I think that'll really help the painting, at least the sky area, to start kind of coming to life. But I do like this just subtle, kind of mottled orange all throughout this sky. It's really kind of nice. All right, now we can put other colors in, but I think I want to wipe this area off before we do that. Now I went ahead and just wiped down these clouds with a shop towel again. Well, not again, but for the first time. I guess I did the sky. That was the other thing we did. But anyway, now I'm going to go ahead and just add on a little extra yellow. And you can see it's just yellow and white. I've got a 3/4 brush. I think that brush is perfect for this. And I'm just using the corner and little X strokes to just work it in. Probably won't need a whole lot more to the sky other than this. This warms it up some, makes it a little more high contrast, a little more saturated in color, which is important. Oh yeah, I like that. I think our sun is going to be right there. Why not? It's right in the middle. It's a good spot. So I'm going to warm up everything around that area. Oh yeah. And I like this kind of just stroking it, allowing it to mix and blend. So far, there's no colors up here that won't work together. There's a little purple, but even that purple's to the red side, and that's fine. So it's all good. The point is just throw it in, right? Nice. And I would just blend probably with the 3/4 brush only. You can hit it with the blender if you want to, and I may, but I probably won't. I like the brush strokes that this leaves. This is, after all, a painting. It is nice to see some brush strokes. Now that we've got our light spot in there, I'm going to go ahead and add our darks. The darks are probably the last thing in the clouds that we're going to do today. The darks, of course, will eat up a lot of this area, a lot of these light areas. Now, as far as darks, I've got kind of this purpley original color. I might just hit a little more blue. And what that'll do is simply, well, you know what it makes purple. It makes more of a blue purple. But here's the thing. It'll help kind of cool down all this warmth a little, won't it? Now, this time it may hit yellow and may brown it up a little. It's not enough to make mud, but it is certainly enough to brown it up. And if I didn't have that up here, I might choose to put just a speck of umber in this color. But I don't need to today. There, and that's something we've done in the past, is put just a little umber or something like that in our clouds just to soften the color. You're not putting brown in your sky. There. Oh, I like that. Let me step back, take a good look. It's a big painting. You got to step back a lot. There. That's nice. Create that really nice dramatic feel. Of course, you don't want to ruin all your darks, or your lights rather. Only add these darks here and there. Now, as you can see, I spent just 3 seconds putting in a little sketch. I also put in some purple mist right in this area to kind of darken and just soften the bottom. I did it over here, but then I ended up covering with trees, which is what we are doing right now. Not covering with trees, but painting trees. Yeah, there we go. Now I've got this kind of vibrant purpley color. I'll actually flip my brush the other way. And I think this is going to work out just great. I also have some warm tones and some kind of neutral tones. So you want a little bit of everything, but we certainly want to get some purple tones. Now, as we progress in this painting, I may or may not end up, just so you know, I may or may not end up throwing some purple, some darker purple up in the clouds, maybe even after it's dry, or almost dry, next week. There. But you know, I think these little purple ones are going to be really nice. I want a lot of purple in this painting, so because of course that'll complement the yellow, which is going down on the snow as highlight, which is going to be so pretty, all the sunlight. So it's just a matter of balancing out your colors, and no better time to figure it out than right here at the beginning of the painting, where everything is easy to change. All right, so I'm just going around my house so that I can paint it in without having too much of an issue. I'm gonna go really, actually fairly dark back here along that bottom there, and then definitely a little darker over here, because we're gonna end up pulling some pretty large trees. They're gonna go almost all the way off the canvas there. But I'm just working on the little ones in the background for now. Now we'll load our 2-inch brush with a nice light-ish purple, kind of mid-tone. And let's see, I'm gonna throw some of this down in the snow. Actually, a lot of this in the snow. You'll notice we did a nice backdrop of just dark. I like the way that that's going to make the house pop out. Okay, anyway, back onto this, right? Let's see. That kind of works. I don't want to go too much with this. Let me just throw it here and there, and we might sort of save that color and come back to it. That would probably be the best. So let me just throw it kind of where I know I'm going to want it, and then I can make other choices later. Also, I need to secure this canvas a little better. It's getting kind of wobbly. Remember, there's no medium down here. It's very dry. Kind of push this up into the dark. And what you'll end up doing is cutting that dark back. See that? Create a little something behind the house. We'll do that over here as well. Good. Now, using the 3/4 brush, we're going to add in a lot of beautiful color to the snow. This is still only the underpainting, so you don't have to be terribly carried away with it, but it is important to, let me show you the palette. That's kind of my soft color. It is important to get all of your tones kind of established right now before we go a whole lot further. So this is my pink. That's a very important color there against the yellow, which I just stuck in. We'll let those two mush together. There, when you highlight, then you have all those beautiful colors underneath. Rather than trying to get a yellowy kind of sunlight highlight over purple, wouldn't work. So then what we're gonna do is just run these together until they hit the purple, and we'll kind of mush it all together, and those will be our shadows and our highlights and all of it built in the underpainting. Very important. It should get us a nice little result. Now let's go ahead and underpaint our house. And just like normal, I'll paint the light side lighter, and then I'll go ahead and darken it up to 2 or 3 shades for the shadow side. And that's still too light probably, because let's face it, it's kind of sunset. Here's my color. Something in there-ish might look better. Oh, that's nicer. Sometimes you gotta put one up on the canvas and then make a choice. Now obviously we're gonna have some shading and stuff on this as well from the roof and the different objects around it. I'm thinking about putting some trees or something small on this side. Nice. And then this is the highlight side of that little section right here. Good. It doesn't have to be over mixed, you know, each time you can reload with a different color. Oh, I like that one better. Stroke some of that yellow ochre right down into it. That's really pretty. Why not? I like that. Oh yeah. Okay. Let me see, a little more right there. Now, let's see. Yeah, I think we're pretty much good. Let's go ahead and just darken this up quite a bit. And maybe, let's make it even kind of purpley, perhaps. Just throw a whole bunch of stuff together. And oh yeah, that's it. Don't want it too purpley, that might be too purpley. Anyway, I'm just gonna play around with this. There we go. And we'll wipe this off when we're done, probably before highlighting and adding details. Now, because we're planning to do this painting again next week, we're planning to work on it again, I'd like to be sure that we get some highlight today. The reason is because it's still wet. If we wait till next week, it'll be dry, and you won't be able to get soft blend in the snow. It would really not work out so well. I'm okay with putting a small, maybe we might add a little small amount extra, but I want to do most of it, certainly a lot of it today. It'll just work out so much better. I mean, as long as you control the paint on the canvas, in my mind, it's just, there's an advantage doing it well. It's all wet. It's not a bonus. You know, some people, and I understand it, but some people think, you know, that it's harder to paint when it's wet. And sometimes that's true if you're kind of out of control with the paint. But if you control the paint, then in my opinion, it's much easier to paint when it's wet. It's more forgiving. You can actually blend in 3 seconds versus, you know, having to actually put some effort into blending. You can do it dry, do it all, you know, in acrylic all the time, but it's more effort, you know. So take full advantage of your oil paints when you do it, right? There. Now I'm going to quickly drop in a little bit of land here, some rocks or just dirt that's happens to be showing through. You can see number one, I switched to the 3/4 brush and I did a lot of purples with that. The detail round was too slow, so I dropped that pretty quick. This is a big canvas. I kind of forgot about that. So anyway, that's that. Maybe it comes down some. I like that. And a lot of this can be messed with next time, next week. I like that though. I think that's pretty cool. And tell you what, I'm just going to pop around here and just find these little bits that I want to kind of show through. This will create a little more interest in the painting. And when we highlight them, it'll make a whole lot more sense. And I may get a first highlight down. We'll see. There we go. Maybe kind of just hard to say. You can kind of put them wherever you want them. I like the idea of making this look a little bit on the rocky side. Yeah, that works. Fun. You could just spend all day and, oh boy, I guess we certainly could easily do that, right? Let me add just a few more rocks. But we're going to try to call it quits here pretty soon, because you don't have to squish in every detail when you break it up. That's the point. Fresh eyes, you know, fresh mind. Kind of go at it again next time. I do need to put some detail in on that house before we stop, though, that's for sure. Now I'm going to go ahead and drop in a closer evergreen tree. And I'm doing just the trunk here with my little 3/4 flat brush. And I'm kind of just tapping it. Gives it a little more texture. You could slide, that's fine. I know that this will be, yeah, the brown, that'll certainly be dry. The brown's always dry first. I got a lot of brown, a lot of umber in this. That'll be dry next week. So anyway, just a little texture on my oil painting. It's kind of fun. Wouldn't normally do that. And maybe get a couple more trunks in. Nice. Just sets us up for next time. Actually, I'm going to probably detail this tree a little bit. Not a whole lot. All right, just finishing up here. Kind of cleaning the top of the house up a little. Maybe adding some cool notes you can see. There, actually what I did was about halfway through this, I stopped and I just touched a little bit of blue up in there and I very softly blended it in. It actually looks pretty good. I think it just needed a little bit of blue at the top because I want to have that blue at the bottom. That's important to me. I don't like it when it's all just warm purple all throughout. It needs that blue. So now I'm going to put a lot of blue in the painting because I can. Oh yeah. Okay, that's starting to look decent. Now really what I wanted to do was get up here and add on our shadow snow. And that'll kind of set us up for next time, even if we don't get around to highlighting it. At least the shading is done. Save us a step next time. Nice. Now these soft ones here, you can kind of decide how far you want to go with them. I'm going to pick out a couple of the bigger ones and add some shadow snow to them. That gives us the option of doing whatever we want to. Down the road when we highlight, we can either highlight them or just leave them with the shadow only. We'll decide later. There, just don't cover up all your darks. Leave a lot of nice dark forest showing through. Well, that's about as far as we're going to get today. We're going to finish up next week. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. Don't forget to check out our website, DVDs, and brush line. Thanks for watching.